Okay, so we are going to go through this lesson today. We're gonna do 8.1, 8.2, and that is it. Okay, we're not doing 8.3, and after that, my plans are to. Why are you looking at her? Okay, so maybe she thinks you're cute, right, Kaylee? Yes.
Ew, Kaylee?
Just say
I
yes.
mean-
See?
No.
I feel bad for you.
All right. So, but the plans are to go ahead and spend some time outside this morning after our math lesson, and then this afternoon, if anybody wants to present their projects for extra credit, you can. It is not mandatory. And then again, plan on heading outside for a little bit of outside time this afternoon. That's if we can behave and do what we're supposed to. Okay? All right, so looking.
Study hall students, please report to the media center today. Study hall students, please report to the media center.
Looking at 8.1, it says which one doesn't belong. So you're looking at these histograms. So you're either picking A, B, C, or D. All right, I'm gonna give you like 3 minutes. If you finish before the time, go ahead and stand up.
I don't know. It's mine.
Chill out. This is what I'm talking about. We're not even remotely focused right now. Just chose to sit there. Stand up. Raise your hand if you're missing somebody from your group. Okay. Is your mom here?
Yeah, you went to
All right. Let's go ahead and do this like this. All right, so stand up if you say A does not belong. Okay? Stand up if you say B does not belong. Stand up if you say C does not belong. Stand up if you say D does not belong. Okay? So B doesn't belong because even though it looks similar to the other ones, look at where the distribution is.
Ouch.
distribution is way to the left, right? So what did you guys learn yesterday about that? What's that called? Alex? Skewed to the left. Alright, C doesn't belong because the spread is much wider than the rest of them. Right? Is that kind of what you guys were thinking? Because I think everybody picked C in here. And then D doesn't belong because the representation of the data is smaller compared to the other three. Okay? So just kind of get our minds thinking and remembering. So if a histogram goes up like this and then down like this,
To have your attention, please, this is the last call for sixth grade principals with honor roll students to report to the gym. Last call.
so if it goes up to a peak and then down evenly, that's a symmetric type graph. If it kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and then down again, that's an evenly distributed graph. If it goes to all the way to like one side, the left or the right, it's either skewed right or skewed left. Alright, so looking at sorting histograms, each one or each group, Ariana, join a group, or Pam, you can join Ariana, and then Indira, you need to pick a group to join. Huh? Pam, join Ariana. Alright, so I just gave you a stack of histograms. You're going to sort them into two piles. One for histograms that are approximately symmetric. So remember, symmetric is the same going up, same going down. And then the other is for those that are not symmetric. Okay, so that's for number one. Number two, you're going to discuss your sorting decisions with another group. So once we're done, I'm gonna give you like minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. You should not be touching the cards yet. Y'all? So we've just lost 10 minutes of outside time. Because I'm going over instructions and yet people are already doing the assignment, you're not even listening. You are going to discuss with another group like your piles. So make sure when you sort them, you don't sort them on top of each other. Like sort them so that they're spread out so you can see the ones that are in one group and the ones that are in the other group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You will have time to talk, like if Joe's group is talking to Caitlin's group, so Caitlin's group will go to Joe's table, y'all will discuss it, then you guys will switch and come to Caitlin's table and y'all will discuss theirs. Okay? So let's start with the sorting first, and then once we're done with the sorting, we'll go into the next. Alright, go ahead. You guys need more time?
No. Okay.
Okay, alright, go ahead and stand up for me. Okay, so we're just gonna pair up this group to that group, this group to that group. And then these three groups you guys will just have to do because there's three of you guys, it's an odd number. Alright, so everybody on this side, you're going to the back tables first. Okay, so like Soraya and Bryson, you guys are going to listen to Ariana and Cam. Juan, and Sierra and Caitlin, you guys are listening to Joe, Carter, and Savannah. And then you two groups are going, good luck, Amara, or Monty, you ready? You gotta present to all these kids. You good? Okay.
You got
Alright,
this.
so go ahead. I'm gonna give you about a minute and a half. If you need a little bit more time, I will.
Do you want us to take our cards to that table?
No, leave them there. You shouldn't be moving anything, you should just be discussing. So if you're moving cards around, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Alright, go ahead and rotate to the front tables.
I don't think that's good. I don't think. Okay, so you said legal or the non? Alright, and I'm even.
Alright, go ahead.
Because they're not skewed to only one side, and they're evenly distributed and not without any spaces. Even though we make it go up and down.
You should not just be sitting. Like, you have a minute and a half to talk. You need to be talking.
So I think what we're doing this, since we have like all the little to do is like kind of like half.
I'll give you time. Just let me be the teacher, please.
Our on guys.
Alright, those two groups, you guys can go ahead and go back to your regular group. This last group, go ahead. I'm gonna give about a minute. While you guys are waiting for them, go ahead and record the graphs that you have as symmetric, the ones that's not symmetric. So right underneath here it says histograms that are symmetric, write your letters. And then over here it says histograms that are not, write your letters.
What do you say? So what do you say? What do you say?
Leave them alone, you should not be touching them. Go back to your seats. Record the ones that are in symmetric and ones that are not symmetric if you have not done so. Go ahead and do that quickly. Stand up when you are done recording which ones are symmetric and which ones are not. About 10 more seconds. All right, go ahead and have a seat. All right, so raise your hand and tell me which ones you said were symmetric.
Said that it was F, J, C, and I.
FJCI. Okay, is there any others that you guys want to add? What'd you guys say?
We said FJCIK.
KB. Okay, anybody else? All right, which ones were not symmetric? Bryson.
BBGLKADH.
That's a whole lot. Okay, anybody else have something different? Joe?
We had ABLGD for the
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do stand up, sit down kind of thing. So, A. Stand up if you think this is symmetric. Do it? Why not? Why not?
it's all skewed. Okay, skewed to the left.
Okay, so the majority of the data is to the left and it doesn't go up evenly, it doesn't come down evenly. Alright, so A goes over here. Alright, what about E? Stand up if you think E is symmetric. No? Why not? Levy?
There's a space in the middle. There shouldn't be spaces in histograms.
Well, there might be a space because if there's no data, can we put something there?
Just like a tiny one that goes to 0.
But 0 is the line. Okay, so you're saying because there's some space in there. All right, I can see that. All right, Elizabeth.
It's not a histogram because the.
It is a histogram.
Well,
It's not.
it's not.
You're saying it's not symmetric. Why?
Because it goes up, but it just drops down instead of going directly back.
Okay, so it doesn't go up the same way, or it
It's
doesn't
like
come down the
stairs.
same way it goes up. Okay. All right, so E goes over here. What about B? Is B symmetric? Stand up if you can get it. Why? Alex?
Because it goes down unless it goes back.
Is this side the same as this side? So then it is not symmetric, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a symmetric histogram. Symmetric is same up, same down. Same shape. This goes down and stays down. Alright, so B also goes over here. What about F? Stand up if you think this is symmetric. Yes, this one is symmetric because it's very even across the ups and downs. Alright, what about C? Is C symmetric? Why is this one symmetric?
Because it's mostly even and most some of it isn't. Most of it is. So
Okay. Alright, what about G? Is G symmetric?
No, because it drops straight down and like it only has one side, so it's all skewed to the
Perfect. Alright, what about D? Stand up if you think D is symmetric.
mostly all the ones that are screwed to the left more. It's not even a lot.
Okay, so you're saying no?
Space.
Alright, so not symmetric and a space. Okay? What about H? And what do you think this is symmetric? Alright, so why did you guys say it was symmetric? Like, what was the reasoning?
Because it covers most of the mountain.
Okay, so I mean, your reasoning was because it's, okay, I can see where that could. Alright, Andrew, why did you guys say it was symmetric?
We basically said the same thing that we did pretty much.
Okay.
So,
Why is this not symmetric? Why is this not symmetric, Soraya?
Because it may go up evenly, but when it drops down, it's like, it's not the same as that other side.
Right, so if it goes up like that, it's gonna come down. So this one is not symmetric. What about I? Stand up if you think this is symmetric. Alright, why? Pam, why'd you guys say this was symmetric? Okay, so I mean, they're all kind of the same height. Alright? What about K? Stand up if you think this is symmetric. What if I told you guys were wrong?
I put it on here.
Why is this symmetric? Why? It's essentially about the same on both sides. And if you look, it covers 8, 16, 24, 32. It covers the same amount on the other side of your histogram. So this is actually symmetric.
Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that?
Because everyone's side down.
All right. J, stand up if you think this is symmetric. All right, Carter, why'd you guys say this was symmetric? Okay. To me, this is probably one of the most symmetric graphs that you've seen today. So J goes down here, and the last one, L. Stand up if you think this is symmetric.
put it down. Put it,
No.
Soraya. Don't get it wrong though.
Get it wrong, she's gonna call me.
Pressure's on.
It doesn't, and when it goes up, it doesn't come down the same way, and it's all, like,
All over the place.
in the steps.
I'm sorry, I'm being distracted. So you said it goes up, it doesn't come down the same way, and there's gaps? Okay,
It's
you
all-
are correct. Don't simmer down now. Don't worry about it.
As soon as I raise my
You
hand.
are nobody. Alright, so we just did 2. Let's go to 3. It says histograms are also described by how many major peaks they have. Histogram A is an example of a distribution with a single peak that is not symmetric. So everyone find your A card. So this one. Says which other histograms have this feature? So they should be spread out on your table right now. So looking around, which other ones look very similar to A? Stand up when you have found it. Did you find it, Pam? Did you find it? I'm here. So am I. Unfortunately.
I got like green paint on my pencil.
So you think if you get taller, I'm gonna call on you? Levy has you beat no matter what you do. Oh God, don't hurt yourself, please. All right, Cam, what's your group come up with? What'd you say? G and B. All right, so they said, let's zoom out a little bit. So they said these 2. Okay, did anybody say, or do you agree with those? One is wrong. What? One of those is wrong.
We're pretty sure G, like,
Stop touching him.
G is wrong. B is correct. Okay? You could also say that this one, kind of, and this one, kind of. So L and E could also be an option as well. But B is the closest one to what A looks like. Alright, so make sure you put B, and then possibly, let's see, L and alright, moving on to number 4. So some histograms have a gap, a space between 2 bars, where there is no data points. For example, if some students in the class have 7 or more siblings, but the rest of the students only have 0, 1, or 2 siblings, the histogram for this data set would show gaps between the bars that have no students is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Which histograms do you think show 1 or more gaps? So again, take a minute, find those histograms, lay them out, and then stand up when you have it. And these are oral kids, God bless us all.
I know, right?
Here, now. Alright, so again, you're standing up once you've found those graphs and have the gaps in them. You're not fighting anymore? You're giving up?
fallen soldier. I was just grabbing another one.
No, you gave up.
So-
Yeah.
Alright, man.
Andrew, three hands going up.
All right. All right, so, Levy, what's one?
But one second. L.
You said L, okay.
Just kidding. Just kidding. You were just raising your hand.
Armani, what's one?
We got one.
What was it?
D.
C?
D.
D? Okay, what's another one? Bryson?
E.
E? Andrew? Don't get it wrong.
G.
Nope.
What?
G? You were sweating it for a minute, weren't you? Joe?
A.
A?
Functionless.
And there's one more. Alex?
Okay.
Okay. So these should be what you put down. So you should put down L, D, E, G, A, K. And that is for number 4. All right, and number 5 says sometimes there are a few data points on a set that are far from the center. Histogram A is an example of a distribution with this feature. Would you describe any of the other histograms having this feature? If so, which ones? So find a, where's it at? All right, so find any that you feel like have, looking at the data, have data that is similar to that one. Once you guys have figured those out, stand up for me.
Well, I was listening, but
I got
So I told him 11
and then these ones.
About 20 more seconds. Go, Andrew. Lily beat you. She's ready to go. She already got her hand up and everything.
You told him I stole it. Said once he goes up, it's gonna work in a factory.
That's awesome.
Oh, what?
This is fast because.
You want me to teach it to skinny?
Nope. Nobody needs to become a teacher.
the paycheck isn't that much.
It's not even work. Like, the paycheck isn't the bad thing. It's everything else.
My mom was a teacher. She used to come home and take naps for like 2 hours.
I wish I could. Girl. All right. Amarion, what's one that your group came up with that looks similar to this one? Which one? E. Okay. So do we agree? E looks similar. Okay. All right. What's another one? Soraya? L is similar. And what's another one? Abby? G. All right, so those are technically the 3 that go with number 5. So go ahead and write those down.
ma'am.
Alright, so just kind of working with, looking at histograms and just understanding the distribution of your data a little bit more. Please go ahead and glue this into your notebook. Please have one person from your group put the cards back together neatly and bring them to me. Alright. Thank you. While some of you were out, your classmates had a little bit of struggle getting on task. So they have earned minus 10 minutes from outside time. This is also going to allow some of you who owe me some Imagine Math to get it done or finish it out. So for the next 10 minutes, you're either working on Imagine Math, Lexia, or Makeup. If you don't need Imagine Math, and you don't have to do Lexia and you have no makeup work, you are doing Imagine Math. Oh Lord, it's always your group. How am I supposed to find?
I'll slide record.
You probably had it in your pocket. Yes.
It was right here.
I'll go through.
So we are not talking. We are not doing anything except for Imagine Math, Lexia, or Makeup work. That's all you're doing. Yes, give me 1 second. What? Are you done with everything else? Have you made up all of your missing work from when you were gone? Elizabeth, Marion, Armani, Brielle, Gracie, Isabella, Joe, Juan, Levy, Soraya. You guys have no lessons done. So you will be sitting on your iPads outside when we go outside until y'all get those lessons done. Like, there is no reason you have 0 done.
So what's supposed to do?
No. So the website that you went to is Google? Right, but so Google is not going to give you all of your information. When you type in your biome on Google, what did you type in? So you just typed in Google, went to Google, and poof, popped up your biome and all the information? Okay. So like when you, like with Google, what do you search? Yeah. With Google's fine, but you can tell me what you search on Google.
There's